Scott, obviously they were undermanned firstly. What did you sort of make of the fight and the effort from the Hawks in their situation?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to start this by just saying, I made a comment, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago about the younger coaches in the league, and Jacob falls in that category of just, being dealt a tough hand. And he's going to be a really good coach. It's just, can people be patient enough to go through the process? And he has a great future ahead of him and a great upside. And the league is tough, and when you're undermanned as it is, it's just hard to get wins. And they fought extremely hard, and I think he's just doing a heck of a job. And we were quite concerned about this game because the last 3 or 4 weeks they started to get their rhythm and start to play much better, which is a credit to him and their group. And then, stuff happens, and it's just the nature of sports when you're traveling around and sickness. But he's one of the young coaches in the league that people just got to take their foot off his neck for a minute and just breathe and know that he's doing everything he possibly can, and just, stay with him and they'll be fine.
How did you approach tonight when you heard that they had their 2 imports missing? Did anything change from your end?
Absolutely not. We internally continue to just, it's kind of old news, but we just go through our process, and we're just concerned about ourselves, really. At the end of the day, we don't really get too over-scouted in one area or another of other teams. It's more about, are we building things correctly, and are we fixing some of our problems and issues that we go along? And that's all it was. We're basically competing against ourselves. That's kind of how I think about it. And is this going to be something that can stand up in the finals or the grand finals if we're lucky enough to get into the playoffs? So that's the big picture. And it doesn't really matter who we play. It's just more internally, are we getting better in areas, and are we being better for more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Can we get to 40 minutes?
They got the head start on you early and led at quarter time. What sort of changed, and what did you make of that first quarter? What did you guys do different?
Well, I think we got off to a good start, and then they were up and about and made some shots, and we changed our defense slightly and got after them a little bit more. And there's obviously a wear-down factor of just not having enough personnel over there to keep going against us throwing guys out there. And eventually the tide turned, and we started making some plays, and our offense started clicking. And a great credit to our guys. I don't want to take anything away from a win. In this league, you get a win, and I don't care where it is, home or away. But we're here to defend the island and fight for Tasmanians. And it's always great just to get a win. But right before Christmas, it's even better.
Isaac, it looked like a lot of fun out there, mate. You've had 2 really good games individually the last couple of games. You must be loving life, I guess, at the moment.
I guess so. Just obviously being out on the floor with the guys, I have a blast. But yeah, I've been really enjoying my basketball ever since I've been here, to be honest. And so, obviously I'm getting the opportunity now, but I've been loving life for a while.
Isaac, you would spark plug, and obviously the crowd love when you come alive. Can you describe what it's like to play in front of this crowd and feed off their energy?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I felt it. I played here once last year, and Clint hit a huge 3 against us, and I felt it being on the other side of it. Now I'm on the right side of it. It's awesome, and I think it's something we all take to heart. When we let the crowd down, we let Tasmania down. It's something we don't take lightly. So it was a focus going in today's game. Like, let's represent Tasmania well, and let's put on for the crowd. And obviously there was a lot more to cheer about tonight.
Scott, there seemed to be a real emphasis on ball pressure, both on the inbounds and
Yep.
the ball handler as well. Was
Yep.
that a focus for you guys this week?
Yeah, I think just in general, it's probably my fault, really in the long run, that we got away a little bit from our identity of having that kind of pressure, just constantly working on that, and we've kind of got away from that a little bit, and I think some teams got a little comfortable playing against us, and it's something that we continue to talk about and try to improve upon, and it was definitely a focus tonight of just making sure that we're up the floor and being who we're supposed to be. And these guys did a really good job of responding, and everyone that came off the bench was just right into their jobs for the most part. And we obviously made some mistakes along the way, but I thought for the most part we got after them pretty well.
On the back of that, Jack said throughout the week you guys needed to get a bit more mungo and a bit more dog. Did you feel that was back to sort of the level you expect?
Yeah, again, I think it's a little bit of my fault at the end of the day of just letting these guys coast maybe a little bit too much in games and not have enough pressure, or be a little bit more conservative, probably is a better word. And that's really not my MO just in general. But I think that we need to continue to work on being the aggressor, and the chips will fall where they may in that form. I'd rather go down swinging than be a little passive in areas or gambling.
What were some of the most pleasing aspects tonight, or was there one specific thing you were most pleased with?
Well, I think just the ball movement was really good offensively, and once the ball started moving, it was, we can be quite a handful. And And then I thought our defense, we had 2 solid quarters there of 12 and I think 13 points to held them. And irregardless of who you're playing, those numbers are really outstanding numbers just in general. And the other big thing was they had 10 offensive rebounds at halftime. They only had 2 for the second half. So just tidying up some of those things and just all of our guys really just all in for each other and loving each other and just rallying around the culture that they have and the values. And that's what we hang our hat on.
I know you don't like to look too far forward, but you've got the Breakers next to you. You haven't beaten yet this season. I guess what are some of the challenges they present, and do you feel tonight you sort of put in a performance that's going to carry over?
Well, again, I'm more worried about Christmas and spending time with my daughter and those kind of things. We've had 2 really good games against them that have gone down to the last 2 or 3 minutes. Been quite scrappy and festive in one way or another. And we have a chance to come in and play them again. They haven't played for quite a while, and we'll see where it goes. But right now, I'd rather just enjoy the moment and have a day or 2 off and regroup and enjoy Christmas. And we'll get to them, obviously, and start doing our work. But they're a really good team. They're well coached, and we'll have our hands full with them.
Just one more from me. On the back of that, last year you mentioned openly your sort of struggles with missing your family and that. So sort of now, a year later, how's your mindset? How much happier are you this
You see the shoes I was wearing tonight?
I didn't green or?
That's how I am. I'm happy. And I made a half-court shot today in our group session at the end of shoot-around. You can say something.
He did.
Tell him.
He made one, so did I, though. But
Yeah,
fun.
but anyways, I did. So, yes, my family being here is huge for me. Like I said, when you get older, you reflect on your life and where you're at and things are going on. And to be reconnected with my daughter back in town, and my wife obviously been here, it's just a joy to be in Tasmania and loving life.
Talk us through the celebration of the half-clock shot.
Well, it's happened twice, and some guys didn't get to see it when I did it in Sydney. And so the guys that didn't travel on that trip got to see it, and it's just a thing. It's just something I have, and, I break it out every now and then, and it might go viral, but you never know. But it's a thing. It is a thing.
There was a dance, though.
Well, I mean, it's a whole thing. The hat, everything. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. Yeah, that's the thing.
No, Isaac, can you talk us through what?
Oh boy.
Look, it's a blur, but the hat goes slightly sideways, about 45 degrees, and he showed me the money. One's like that, a bit of hips, but I'll leave it to him.
Yeah. It's all good. Merry Christmas.
Chris Pike, you got anything to top that?
Just a couple of quick ones.
Oh, Chris.
Following on,
Jesus.
sorry.
Well, that's some big mojo we had going there. Now you're going to ruin it with this. Okay, go ahead. Ask a basketball question.
Oh, well, actually, I'm not.
Oh.
You talked about your daughter coming to town.
Yeah.
We've seen the Christmas jumper with your face on it. Is there any chance we would ever get you wearing that?
That's possible. You never know. You never know. I'm all in about a lot of things. You never know. Test me.
Isaac, just quickly, 3-part question. Would you wear that jumper with Scott's face on it? Secondly, what are your plans for Christmas? Thirdly, what are your thoughts on taking on the Breakers on Boxing Day?
Sheesh. I don't know about the jumper.
Yes to the jumper. Next, go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
Second question was
Breakers.
Christmas plans.
Yep.
Bunch of us are getting together. Obviously, not many of us are actually from Tassie, so a bunch of us who don't have families are going to get together and eat some food and just hang out. And 3, the Breakers. Yeah, excited for the challenge. Obviously, we owe them one, so I'm excited to, as Scott said, enjoy Christmas first and then cross that when we come to it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Gosh, you can